of heaven. This is Mooncam Kamini Ulrich and my wife Crystal King, that's the camera lady. Man of God, we wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from our home in Memphis, Tennessee, United States of America. Man of God, the reason why I'm making this video is to share my testimony of what has been going on in my life for the past year. Everything started when we visited Ark of God Covenant Ministry. That was last year, 2015. We were going through our visa situation, and everything went so smoothly to the point where we were even surprised on how easy everything was. But I always believed that it was thanks to the prayers and the spiritual items that I had on me while I went on for my visa interview. So after the visa process and the preparation to fly out of Cameroon, the day we were supposed to fly out of Cameroon, we came to AGCOM to get our spiritual item, in which we got everything, and we went back to Douala. The time we were always set, and we were about to fly out of Douala International Airport. The pilot said that the plane had an issue with its tire, so we can't continue with the flight. So the flight was delayed for the next 24 hours. My God, although it was hard, but I thank God because things could have been worse, especially since that moment in which we were going through the plane issue. My mom and a family friend had an accident at the level of Bonaberry when they were about to get to the bridge. It was a horrible accident, but they came out with little or no wounds. Man of God, I thank God for that because it could have been worse, like I earlier said. But with God being with me, with my family and the anointing water and your sticker, I believe everything will be fine. So after 24 hours, we flew out of Douala International Airport. We got here in Memphis. We settled in, and after a couple of months, I got enlisted into the US military, in the Army, to be specific. I trained, I swam, the process went on so well. I trained, I was physically tough and ready. I went to boot camp, that was on 19th of September 2016. I got there, it was hard because of the new life, and the transformation from a civilian to a soldier. Started the red phase on September 23rd. Everything went on well, although it was hard because of the separation and life there as a soldier. But physically wise, I was tough and always had my Bible, and whatever activity or training that we were to do, I always had my song that I was singing, that is, I put my trust in you, I put my trust in you. I heard the song when I was there in AGCOM last year, so that has been my favorite song. Even my mom, Madame Dwayne Dirijan, can testify that. So everything went well. I excelled in my physical test, my running and push-ups, sit-ups and everything. With my training and everything, I excelled to the point where we got to what we call blue phase. Blue phase, that is the last phase before graduation from basic training. at the first week of blue phase, I started having this pain at the level of my Achilles. And, I went to see the electric trainer, and she told me that, no, I need to stretch and, do more of PT, that is like sport. I stretched and I ran. I wasn't really feeling well. So I decided to go see the doctor. He got me on profile for a week. 1 week of no run profile. So for 1 week, I wasn't running. I just took everything easy. And after the profile, I had our final PT test. That is like a physical training. So on that PT test, on my push-ups, I did great. I had 80% on my age group. On my sit-ups, I had 80% as well. 80% out of 100. And with my run pad, after I did my first lap, I started having this sharp pain at the level of my Achilles, right up to my calf on my right leg. Man of God, it was horrible. I cried while running, but my battle buddies encouraged me. My company commander was there, my drill sergeant was there. People asked about what was going on with me. I kept telling them of my situation, but everyone said keep running. With the courage that I had, I kept running. I ran till I finished. I did 7 laps. It was horrible. And after when I noticed that I failed the PT test, I felt so disgusted because I badly wanted to pass that test and for me to graduate from basic training in Fort Jackson. It was horrible. That day, my friends carried me out of the track. I couldn't walk. It was horrible, man of God. That has been one of the most painful things I've had in my life. So I struggled. The same day, we had what we call blue face exam. So I went to see the electric trainer, and she told me that there's nothing she can really do, that if I want to go to the hospital, I will miss the blue face exam. But man of God, I never wanted to miss the blue face exam because I know how important that exam it is to me and for me to graduate basic training. So it was horrible. I pushed myself and I kept praying. When I went to the bay, I took the Annointing water. That is the morning water, the old version that I got from your ministry last year in 2015. I used the water. I prayed to God. I said, God, please help me through this situation. I'm in pain, but I don't want to be a failure. So my body buddies helped me to carry me up and down from the stairs. And I went through the test that day and I passed everything. So that was a positive note. So the next day, man of God, I went to see the doctor at the level of, we call it TMC. So I saw the doctor, that's Captain Dumer. I saw him, he looked at me and he said that we did bone scan, we did an x-ray. He looked at my bone, he said there's something in my bone that is unusual from a normal American, and he was talking about me having previous fracture and probably that might lead to me having the current fracture, the current pain that I have at the moment. Man of God, he said something about chopping me out of the military. That was one of the worst news I've got. I felt horrible when he said that, and I even pleaded with him. I was like, man of God, I was like, doctor, I haven't had any previous injury. I pleaded, and at some point I was even praying on my mind, and I had the morning water with me. So when the doctor left to go talk to his colleague, I took the morning water, I sprayed some in my mouth, I sprayed some on my leg, and I was praying. I prayed. Yes, man of God, I kept praying, and I was praying till the point where he came back into his office, and luckily enough, my elected trainer from my battalion also came in. She told the doctor that I've been struggling, that I'm motivated, that I really want to graduate. And they were talking, and the doctor raised his concern about something that he saw in my bone. And man of God, it was hard, but I was in an attitude of prayer. And I know that for me to pray about something, failure is never something that will come on my way. When I am determined to go through something and I pray on that thing, there's always success that will come out of that situation. So I was positive despite having that bad news. So he decided to put me on crutches. He said I will be on crutches and continue with the training. So I left the doctor's office that day. I went to talk to my company commander and my drill sergeant. I explained the situation to my drill sergeant. They asked if I wanted to continue with training, because that day we were to do what we call FTX, meaning we were to leave our barracks. We're gonna go into the woods. We will spend 3 nights in the woods and walk 12 miles back to our barracks. Man of God, I know a lot of people in a situation like mine wouldn't take the chance to go and live into the woods for 3 nights under freezing conditions with a crutch. It was hard, but I knew what I wanted. I know that I wanted to graduate, and I always had the courage that God is with me. So I told my drill sergeant that I would try. He was surprised of how courageous I am, even being in a situation like that. So we went there at the FTX site. We walked for half mile to 1 mile. I walked with my crutches. Everyone was so amazed. My friend were encouraging me. I got there. I struggled for the 3 nights with my crutches on, and every day I would pray. Although I was taking the medication, the painkillers, but I kept praying, and I had my anointing water with me. I would administer the anointing water. I would pray for success, and till we got to the day where we were to march back to go to our barracks. That is our 12 miles march. When they were standing in line, because we stood on line at the level of platoon formation. I am in 4th platoon, and my platoon was the 1st platoon. So we stood, I heard, on the line, and when I stood, I was behind because of how slow I was. So I never wanted to be in the middle. So while being behind, my drill sergeant asked if I wanted to match. When she asked me the question, she was surprised to even see me over there standing with crutches to walk 12 miles while I had a bag on me and other body armor that we carried. Another drill sergeant came, the second drill sergeant came, and he said, Private Ulrich, do you want to match? I said, I looked at the sky and I looked at him. I said, I will try. Then he laughed and said, do you want to march 12 miles with crutches? I said, I will try. And man of God, it wasn't like I knew that I will do it, but I had the courage that God will be there for me. So at some point, the company commander came. He stood in front of the formation, and my drill sergeant had a conversation with him, and they decided for me to get into the van. So when I got into the van, they took me back to the barracks. While I was in the van, I asked the drill sergeant that was driving, I said, "Drill sergeant, is it possible for me to still graduate even without doing the match?" He said, "No, that I will have to get better and they will give me a makeup match for me to do it." So I kept praying. I went there to the barracks. I met other non-trainers, people that have issues and they couldn't continue with training. We waited like for 6 hours. Then when the company came back, we were standing. The company commander walked up straight to me. I was surprised, man of God, because I couldn't imagine that he would still think about my case to the point where I would be the first person that he would talk to when immediately as they got there at the company, at the barracks. So he walked up straight to me. He said, "Private, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting, but I just wish for you to get healed. And from there, we're going to see what we'll do." Man of God, I had hopes and I kept praying. I thank God. And after 1 week, I asked a couple of questions. Nobody would give me an answer. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I kept praying. Whenever I would go meet a drill sergeant to ask a question or to talk about my situation, I would use the anointing water. I was praying in my mouth. I was praying on my body. I would ask for God to favor me, to help me out, for my drill sergeants and my company commander to favor me in this situation. So when I talked to my senior drill sergeant after spraying the anointing water, he's a very difficult man. But I spoke with him. He was nice. He said, "I'm more private. We're going to see what we will do." And by then, I was out of the crutches because I started feeling better. And I know that it was the help of the anointing water, because that was a very quick recovery. So, a couple of days, they gave everyone the graduation dress, the graduation marksman badge and expert, whatever you had when we did our weapon shooting. I had everything that showed that I would graduate, but whenever I asked 3 other people questions about my situation, a lot of people said that they don't see me, they don't think that I will graduate because I didn't pass my PT test and I didn't do the 12-mile match, in which those were the composure thing is kind of like a graduation requirement. So, man of God, I know it was something special, but I kept praying, saying that as a citizen of heaven, I know my situation will be special in the eyes of everyone. So I kept trying. I tried to ask questions. I met my first sergeant, that is the company commander's advisor. I spoke with him. He also said that they will see what they will do. I was also in the attitude of prayer. I submitted everything, and I even told my wife to call my mom, Madame Dunjijuan. That's one of your prominent member in Act of God Covenant Ministry. Asked for her to keep praying and for her to submit my prayer request at church. So she's definitely submitted my prayer request, and she took my photo, and the prayer y'all were praying for me. I saw a lot of changes at the level of my pain, because when the day that they carried me out of the track, I felt like something was broken. I couldn't even imagine that I would walk in a couple of days. So So we were trying to work on my situation. I talked with a lot of people at the level of my company, and finally, surprisingly, a couple of days before our graduation, they called me out for the people that will have to go to this camp they call FTC. So the drill sergeant called my name out and she said I gotta go for the FTC evaluation. I went there, I couldn't pass the FTC evaluation because of my injury. And the guy said I can't pass, so he really doesn't know what's gonna happen with me, or probably they will kick me out of the army. So I went back to the office and my drill sergeant said that it would be better for me to accept the convalescent leave that the doctor proposed to me. So I went there that day, we didn't see him. So I waited for like 2 days. I kept praying. On the third day I went there with my hand in water and I had my Bible with me. When I got into his office, he was really relaxed, we talked, and he gave me a convalescent leave. He recommended 45 days of convalescent leave. In which, man of God, at that point, I felt the gratitude, I felt happy, because the convalescent leave, it's something that will definitely help me to get healed and for me to be part of my family back when I get home. A lot of people won't have the convalescent leave. A lot of people will still stay at the level of what they call RHU, and it's not a very good place to be because y'all pretty much don't do anything there. So I got the convalescent leave, in which I truly thank God and I truly thank the citizens of heaven for their prayers. So when I came back after a couple of days, my drill sergeant called me and to the office. When I got there, he was like, he had 2 sheets of paper. He said, "Private, this is your paper to show that you're graduated at the red face." So he asked me to sign and to put my initials. I did it on red face, white face, and he looked at me, he smiled, he said, "This is for your blue face." And I was so happy, I signed it. And man of God, honestly, an ordinary person being in that situation wouldn't have graduated the blue face because I failed my PT test due to my injury and I didn't do the 12-mile march. And which everyone, even the doctor, said that I would have to go home, get back, and come back to basic training for 3 weeks. So definitely the drill sergeant told me that I have graduated, but I won't be part of the graduation ceremony, in which I really don't have any regret, and I thank God for letting me to graduate and for all the favor, because a lot of people, everyone that I told them about my situation, people keep saying that, "Man, you are so lucky." I even spoke with the captain that was kind of like our chaplain. He said that's the best thing that you will ever have. Then, man of God, I am purposely making this video to tell you and to tell the prayer group that I am very, 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 very grateful for y'all's prayer, and please keep me into your prayers. So I've been at home for like 15 days now. I'm getting better, but I am worried about the time, because in 15 days, that is in January 3rd, I have to report back to my base that is in Fort Jackson. Man of God, I'm worried about if I will be 100% strong, because if I get there, what's going to happen is I will have to do a PT test, and if I pass the test, I'll go straight to the next phase that is called AIT. It's like a job training. Man of God, please, I am directly asking if you can help me out, to pray for me, to pray for my injury, and for me to be 100% fit. Moreover, yeah, as you can see, the t-shirt that I received couple of days ago, I have the spiritual items that my mom sent to me. That is the anointing water, which I administer. Here is your book. Here is your handkerchief that my mom also sent. And with your file. Man of God, with this anointing water, I hope this will be a form of contact. Please, may you continue with your prayers and help me out, and may I be 100% fit as I go back into training in January 3rd. Thank you very much, and once again, Merry Christmas from Memphis, Tennessee, United States of America, and I'm Private Ulrich. Thank you.